as part of project-based learning. In this tutorial, we will focus on designing the front end for the sign-in functionality and learn how to create a sign-in interface using React. Objective of this session is to set up and style the sign-in form using React components, adding interactive elements like inputs, links, and button to enhance the user experience. This session focuses exclusively on front-end design of sign-in module. The back-end integration and functionality will be covered in the future sessions. By end of this tutorial, you will have a fully designed sign-in page that is ready to connect with back-end services. Let's start design the front end for sign-in functionality as shown in this sample screenshot. Open existing project job portal and execute it. This is the web page we designed in the previous session. As per the sample screenshot, if user click on the sign in icon on top right corner of the web page, then the login module will appear as a pop-up. First, we will create a pop-up window, then start designing the login functionality. To create a pop-up window, go to the file app.jsx where we have the design for the web page. Inside the container div element, let me create one new div element and with the ID pop-up. So let me add some styles to display this window as a pop-up. Go to the file app.css. Here we can define a style for the ID pop-up. So let me set width 100%, height 100%, background with color RGB 000 for black color with the transparency of 25%. Then save and go to the web browser. The pop-up window appears with 25% of transparency with black background color, but it appears on top of the web page. Now we need to make it to appear as a pop-up. Return back to app.css, then add a style position fixed. Then save, return back to the web page. Now the div element which we created appears on the web page like a pop-up with a black background with 25% of transparency. Now we will focus on designing a login page on center of the screen. For designing a login page on center of the screen, let me create one new div element inside the pop-up. Set ID as pop-up window. Then we can set style for this particular div element. Go to app.css, define a style for the ID pop-up window. Set width some 300 pixels and height 450px, height 450px, and position relative. Then set background now with yellow color. Later we can change the background once it will be aligned properly on center of the screen. Then save changes and go to the browser and check whether the window is appeared on the screen or not. It appears perfectly, but it should be on top of the web page. To make this pop-up window will be appeared on top of the web page content, we need to add a style on the pop-up. So go to the style where we defined for the div element pop-up, add a style called z index with a value 999. Then save, return back to browser and check. Now the window will be appeared on top of the web page content. Then we need to make this window will be appeared on center of the screen. To make it appears on center of the screen, go to the app.css page where we defined the style for pop-up window. Set top value 50% of the window height and set left value with 50% of windows width. Then save, then check the result. It will be appeared exactly 50% on windows height and 50% of window width. Still, we need to make some adjustment to appear this window exactly on center of the screen. So return back to the app.css, add a style called transform with a value translate in x-axis minus 50% and y-axis minus 50%. Then save. Now it will be perfectly placed on center of the screen. Then we can start designing a login page on this particular space. So now I'm changing the background color as white. I changed the background color as white. Now I'm going to start design a page as per the sample screenshot. Next, I'm going to place a header with a message login. Then we can place two input text boxes to collect username and password and one button control for validation. Then create a div element with an ID as pop-up header with a content login. Go to app.js, define a style for pop-up header. Inside, you can define a style width 100%, height 60 px, line height 60 px. This will help us to make a vertical center alignment of the content. Then set background with RGB value of 13180 and then 104. Then set font color white and then set font size 14 pixel point. Then set font weight bold. Now save changes. Then go to the browser and check whether the styles are appeared on the pop-up window or not. Now make the content of pop-up window horizontally center. Then go to app.js, add a style text align center. So this is for align the content horizontally center. This is for align the content vertically center. Then save changes. Now check the result. Now it is perfect. Then we will focus on designing the remaining part for login page. Then go to app.jsx. Next to pop-up header, place a div element with an ID sign in. So here we can start designing a content for login page. Set style for the ID sign in. Width 100%. Height by using the calci. Total 100% height of its parent minus height of the pop-up header. So that is 60 px. If you want, we can check by adding the background, some color. Later we can change it. Save, then go to the browser. Now it will be perfectly fit onto the allocated space. Now we can change the background color. So change background color as it is white. Pop-up window will be the parent. Inside pop-up window, there are two div elements. One is pop-up header and another one is sign in. Now I'm going to set border radius for pop-up window. Then go to app.css, add border radius 5px, then save and come to pop-up header, set border top left radius 5px and border top right radius 5px. Like this, we can set border bottom left radius 5px and border bottom right radius 5px. Now save and check the result. So the edges are rounded based on the radius value we given in the app.css file. Then we can start adding two input text boxes to collect username and password from user. Go to app.jsx. Inside the element sign in, I'm just placing a label. This label I'm going to use to display username on the front end. So I just name the class as username label. Username label. Here I'm displaying the caption username. Then place the input type text and assign ID as username because I'm going to use this particular input text to collect username from user. Then place a label for password with the class name password label and write caption on it password. Then place input type password to collect password from the user. Set ID as password. Then place a div element for forget password with the class name forget password. Inside the div element, write a label text forgot with a label password. Later we can define the styles for this. Then after place a button control with the class name sign in button. Write caption on the button as sign in. Then create one div element. Set class name as div1 and another div element set class name as div2. Here we can place the content as per the sample screenshot. As per the sample screenshot, here we need to display the text don't have an account, then followed by one hyperlink, sign up now. I'm going to use this div element to display the text don't have an account, then one hyperlink so that I'm using a label for hyperlink with the text sign up now. So save changes and go to the browser and check the result. So as of now, I placed one label to display the caption username followed by one input text box to collect username from user. Then another label to display the caption password followed by the another input text box to collect password from user. Then there is a div element to create a facility for forget password, followed by a button that help us to validate username and password. Then after there is a div with the message don't have an account, and then one label with the message sign up now. So that user click on this label, it will navigate to sign up. So now the controls are appears inside the sign in window, but there is no space on the left margin and top margin. So that I'm going to add a style in sign in window, padding 5x. This will allocate a 5 pixel space in all four sides. So after adding the style padding 5x, save, go to the browser. Now there is a changes on the sign in window width. It exits its parent width size. So we need to adjust it by adding the calci function on width 100% minus 10px. So left 5px and right 5px is allocated because of padding 5px. So we need to subtract left 5 plus right 5 total 10px from its original width. Then save. Now you can see there is no changes on the window width, but the content or starts appearing from left margin 5px, top margin 5px, and right 5px and bottom 5px. Then go to app.js. Inside the sign in div, there is a label with class name, username label. Next, I'm going to define style for this particular label. Copy the username, go to app.css. What is the parent class ID? Sign in. There is a class name, username label. So set display style as a block. Then padding top, I want to give 40px space, and right 0px, and bottom 3px, and left 0px. We can use padding with four values. This is for top, right, bottom, and then left. So now we can check how it appears on the screen. So save changes, go to the browser. Now the label allocates 40px on top and 3px on bottom. Then I'm going to define a style for the input text, username and password. So next we will define style for the input controls. There are two input controls in the front end. So we can define a common style for input controls. Input width 100% minus 5px, 100% minus 5px. Then height 30px, border 1px, solid silver border, border radius 3px. Now save changes, go to the browser, the style applied to the input text boxes. Then set style for the caption label password. So note down the class name for the label password and define a style in app.css. The parent window, sign in. There is a class password label. So I make it as display block, and then padding top 10px, 0px on right, bottom 3px, and 0px on left. Then save changes. Now you can check the result. The style which we defined for the password label, it appears on the result. Then define a style for forget password. So note down the class name in app.jsx. The class name is forget password. Now I'm defining a style for forget password. Sign in. The class name is forget password. Then make it as display block, and height 30 px. Then line height 30 px for vertical central element. Then save. So the styles are applied to the forget password and make it as a right alignment. Then add text align right. Now it will be aligned on right of the window. Then define style for the label. So go to app.jsx, the div element forget password having a text forget followed by a label. Then we need to define style for this label. So go to app.css, the parent window is sign in. There is a class forget password. Inside there is a tag called label. So now I'm defining a style for the label. So I'm going to set color as with RGB value 13, 180, 104. Then cursor pointer. Save it. So the color we defined in the app.css is appears. And if user move cursor on this particular label, the cursor type has been changed as a pointer so that it give a feel to the user to click on it. Next, I'm defining a style h over for the label colon h over and set color with RGB value 13, 130. So 150 is enough. 150, 104. So now you can check, go to the output. If move cursor on the label, there is a change on the color. This effect came by the style defined in h over for this label. Next, we need to set style for this button control. So note down the class name from app.jsx. What is the class name given for the button control is sign in button. Then go to app.css. Start from the parent node, sign in. There is a class sign in button and define style for it. Width of the button 100% and height of the button 35 px. Then set background color with RGB value 13, 180 and 104 and set font color on the button as white. Then cursor pointer, set border none and border radius 3 px. Then if user move cursor on the button, the pointer has been changed because we define the style cursor pointer. So how we defined h over feature for the label forget password, like that I'm going to set h over feature for sign in button. Then go to app.css, set h over style for the button. H over, change background color RGB 13, 150, 104. So slightly change the background color. Then save. Now you can check the result. If I move cursor on the button, there is change on the background color. So it will give a field to click on the button. There is a div element with the class name div1. This is the element used to allocate a space between button and the text don't have an account. So first I'm going to define a style for this class div1. So go to app.css. The parent element is sign in followed by the class name div1. Set width 100% and height 80 px. Save. So it allocates a required space between button and the text don't have an account. Then we need to focus on the text don't have an account. So go to app.jsx where the text appears. Don't have an account appears inside the element div having the class name div2. Next, we need to define a style for the class div2. The parent element is sign in. There is a class div2. I'm just set width 100% and font size 7pt and set color font color gray and make it as center alignment text align center, then save changes, check the result. So it aligned center. Next we need to focus on the sign up now. So go to app.jsx. The sign up now is placed on the label. So next we need to define a style for this label. So go to app.css, start from parent element, sign in. There is a class div2 and then there is a tag label. Now define style for the label. Display as a block, display as a block, and then increase font size as it is 9 pixel point and font weight bold and then font color padding top. I want to give 5px space on top. So now it will be perfect. Then if user move cursor on this label, we need to change the cursor type as a pointer so that it will give appeal to click on this particular label. So add one more style, cursor pointer. Then set h over style for this label. Sign in due to label colon h over. Color with the RGB value 13, 150, 104. So then save changes. So now go to the browser and check by moving cursor on the label. So there is a change in the color and also cursor type has been changed as a pointer. If we refresh the page, the pop-up window appears by default on it. But as per the requirement, if user click on the sign in icon or sign in text on top right corner of the web page, then only the pop-up window will be appeared on the screen. So now we need to hide this pop-up window by default. Go to app.css where we defined a style for pop-up. There you can set display none. If you set a style display none, save and go to your browser. Now the pop-up window is not appears on the web page. It should be appeared if user click on the sign in icon or sign in text. So next we need to add on click event for sign in icon and sign in text. Go to app.jsx, find out the tag where we defined for sign in icon and sign in text. For adding on click event for sign in icon and sign in text, we must have a function to handle it. So let me create a function with the name show sign in. Inside, I'm creating object for the pop-up window. So let pop-up equal to document dot get element by ID pop-up. Then I'm going to set style for the pop-up window display equal to block. If user click on the sign in icon or sign in text, it will be called the function show sign in. Inside the function, we defined object for the pop-up window and change the style of pop-up window as a block. In app.css, we defined style for the pop-up window as none. If user click on that particular icon on top right corner of the web page, it will call the function show sign in. Inside we are changing the style, display style of the pop-up as a block. So it will be appeared on the screen. Then we need to add on click event for the tag sign in icon and sign in text. So here I'm adding on click equal to the method name show sign in. Here also on click equal to show sign in. Then save changes. Go to your browser, refresh. There is no pop-up window appears by default. Then click on the sign in text. The pop-up window appears. Again refresh. Click on the sign in icon. Here also the pop-up window appears on the screen. Then we need to focus on if user click on the empty space of the pop-up window, it should be disappeared. So create a function close sign in. Inside define object for the pop-up window and change the display style. So let me change the display style as none. Now save. So go to the pop-up window, add on click event, on click equal to sign in. Now save, go to your browser, refresh, and then click on the sign in icon. It appears. If user click on the pop-up window, the window will disappear because we have the function close sign in. There we define the style, display style as none. Even though we click on the text box username, the window disappears. It should not be disappeared if user click on the content of the sign in window. So it should be handled properly in the close sign in function. So take a parameter event, then add the constraint if event dot target dot id equal to popup. Then we need to set display style of the pop-up window as none. If the target ID is not equal to pop-up, that means if we click inside the content of the login, it should not disappear. Then save changes. Go to the browser, refresh, click on the sign in icon. The login window appears. If you click on username or password or button or sign up now or forget password, if you click anywhere inside the sign in window, the pop-up will not disappear. If we click outside the sign in window, the pop-up disappears. So as of now, we completed the front-end design for login. The back-end integration functionality will be covered in the future sections. Now the sign-in page is ready to connect with back-end services.